All right, listen, I know what you're thinking. The answer to the title and the thumbnail is pretty obvious, right? All four characters that are dropping for version 1.1 in all likelihood are going to be amazing. That's pretty obvious, that's common knowledge. But the real question is, how good are they actually going to be, right? Like, how good is Big Daddy Zhongli actually going to be, and the homie Childe, as well as the other 4 stars, Diona and Xinyan? And that's what we're going to discuss in today's video. We're going to deep dive into their kit and skills, take a look at what they're possibly going to be bringing to the table. And I say possibly, that's where the disclaimer's coming in. Keep in mind that what we're looking at could possibly change and can alter when they officially drop. We're just going to get some rough translations, and in all likelihood, most of it's going to stay true, but some of it could change. So I just want to mention that quickly before we jump into it. Also, massive shout out to the Reddit for this information. I'm going to leave a link in the description down below, as well as a massive shout out to Freedom28 in the Discord for providing the link to the Reddit for this information. So if you want to join the Discord today so you can discuss Genshin with like-minded people, I implore you, a link will be in the description below as well. Join the Discord today. It's an amazing time. And if you enjoyed the video today, go ahead and drop a like. And if you like Genshin and you like the content you see, go ahead and consider subscribing as well. Means a lot. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. We're going to be taking a look at Childe skills first, and then we have Zhongli, and then we have Xinyan. Now I do apologize, I do not have Diona's information, which once again, my apologies, but if you do have that information, you can leave it in the comments down below. These are just the 3 characters that I have right now, just based off of the link. And let's take a look at their skills. So Childe, he is obviously a hydro bow user. I think that's fairly obvious at this point. His basic attack shoots up to 6 arrows at enemies. Charge attack aims and charges up for a powerful shot. When fully charged, the arrow will deal water damage and apply broken flow, which we're going to get into here just now. So the broken flow AoE hydro damage will be dealt to all nearby enemies of the target hit when an enemy under the effect broken flow is hit by any of Childe's attacks. This damage is calculated as regular attack damage. So this is pretty unique and pretty interesting for Childe having this broken flow, and I think it's going to be well integrated into his kit and how good Childe is actually going to end up being. Now, moving on from there, the elemental skill unleashes the equipment made of water, dealing hydro damage to all nearby enemies, and enters melee stance. Really good stuff there, dealing the hydro damage and then entering that melee stance is really cool for that elemental skill. Once again, very unique to Childe. And then the regular attack for the melee stance, a 6 combo of slashes that deal hydro damage. Very nice right there. And then the charge attack for the melee stance instantly performs 2 slashes in front of Childe, dealing hydro damage, uses stamina. Of course, that's pretty standard. Moving on from there, we do have the broken flow slash. This is in the melee stance. When hitting an enemy under broken flow effect while in melee stance, broken flow slash will be executed, dealing AoE hydro damage. This effect is calculated as regular attack damage. So once again, pretty unique there, dealing hydro damage, but the effect is going to be calculated as regular attack damage. And it's very interesting, that broken flow. Moving on from there, we have the elemental burst. Range stance shoots a magical arrow containing hydro elemental power, dealing AoE hydro damage while also applying broken flow to all enemies hit. Really nice. And then refunds partial elemental energy after you use as well, which is really good, being able to get that energy back so you can spam ult. Good stuff for the range stance. And then the melee stance performs a wide slash, dealing tremendous hydro damage to all nearby enemies while also triggering broken flow, and broken flow burst is what it states there. So really good. And then broken flow burst, here we go. This is triggered by the melee stance. AoE hydro damage will be dealt when enemies under broken flow is hit with melee elemental burst. Broken flow will be consumed in the process. So, just based off of what we're reading right now, keep in mind this is really my first time going over the skills. Childe is seemingly to be a very hard hitter. I think he's going to be doing a lot of damage just based off of what I'm reading here. Now, the Ascension 1 passive, Broken Flow or Talent 1, broken flow duration increased by 8 seconds. That is, that's pretty broken. Ascension Phase 4 passive, Critical hits dealt by normal and charge attacks and melee stance will apply broken flow to enemies hit. Okay, that's really good. And then this utility passive, all active team members normal attack talent level increased by 1. Interesting. That passive is pretty broken as well, no pun intended. That's really good. That's really good. And let me read broken flow again. So AoE hydro damage will be dealt to all nearby enemies of the target hit when an enemy under the effect of broken flow is hit by any of Childe's attack. Huh. Childe's gonna be doing a lot of damage. Childe's gonna be a hard hitter, man. You get some elemental combinations going off. You get the broken flow going. You get the elemental burst. Yeah, and then the passives are really good, and that utility passive is just OP. Yeah. If all of this holds true and holds water, once again, no pun intended, Childe is gonna be amazing. Yeah, Childe's good. Childe's real good. Okay, moving on to Big Daddy Zhongli. Let's go ahead and take a look at him. Of course, he's a Geopolearm user. Let me see. They have his elemental skill first. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. Alright, so elemental skill. Did they have elemental skill? No, they had his basic charge attack. Okay, I guess it's just common knowledge the way it does. Alright, so the elemental skill, we'll talk about that. Press gathers geo elemental powers and forms a geo construct, dealing AoE geo damage. All nearby geo constructs, like the Traveler's Meteor, will resonate with Zhongli's geo construct, dealing damage to all nearby enemies. Zhongli's geo construct counts as an object, which means it can block attacks and may be climbed. Only one Zhongli's geo construct can exist at once. So that's that pillar that he drops down. So it's much like the Traveler, it's just it's a pillar, and the Traveler is more like almost like a large container of sorts. Construct will resonate with Zhongli's geo construct, dealing damage to all nearby enemies. Okay, so it looks like it's just doing damage. Constructs counts as an object, which means it can block attacks and may be climbed. Interesting. And it's dealing AoE geo damage. Okay, alright, nice. And then the hold commands all nearby geo elements to explode, causing the following effects. This is awesome. A shield that scales with Zhongli's max HP will be created. Oh, so so you may want to go like with an HP attack build with Zhongli to get his HP as high as possible, so that shield is as strong as possible. This shield will have 250% efficiency when absorbing geo damage. Deals AoE geo damage. Interesting, and they don't know what the rest means. I like that. I like that a lot. That's really, really good. Really good. Okay, and then the elemental burst calls down a giant meteor, dealing devastating damage to all enemies hit while also petrifying them. And I wonder if this works. I've been wondering this, if it works for large bosses. I still don't know. And in the comments down below, if you guys know, that'd be great. Yeah, so let's move on. Petrified. Petrified enemies will not be able to move and will take an additional 20% physical and geo damage. That's really nice. The passive one, when Zhongli's shield from his elemental skill takes damage, active character shield fortification, it's called strong shield and attribute stat, will be increased by 5%. This effect stacks up to 5 times. Okay. So if his shield takes damage, his stats increase? Am I reading that right? His stats increase by 5%? Max up to 5 times, or stacks up to 5 times? That's really good. That's really good if I'm reading that right. I don't know if I'm reading that right, but if I am, that's a really good passive. And then at Ascension Phase 4, Zhongli's elemental burst will deal additional damage equal to 20% of Zhongli's max HP. Yeah, you're gonna want to, if this, once again, if this all holds true, you're definitely gonna want to get his HP as high as possible. I wish it was attack. I wish it was attack, like almost like Chi-Chi's. Okay, all right, not bad. And then the utility passive, 50% of minerals used when crafting. Okay, all right, not bad. Not broken like Childe's though. If that stays true, that's not broken like Childe's. All right, so Big Daddy Zhongli looking strong. I like what I see. I think he's gonna be really good. I think he's gonna be very versatile. I think he's gonna be fun to play with because of what he's doing, and he seems very interesting. I cannot wait to try him out when I get him on the account. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a really good time. Childe's looking really fun too. These characters. MiHoYo knew what they were doing. Anyways, moving on. So last character, because unfortunately, like I mentioned, I don't have Diona's information, but we have Xinyan, a Pyro Claymore user. We'll take a look at the elemental skill. Deals damage to all nearby fans enemies. I don't know what that means. And converts their passion into a shield that absorbs pyro damage. Damage absorbed will be based on the amount of fans affected. Oh, I see what they're saying. They're playing off of her little shtick of her being a rock star. I see what they're doing. So the fans are the enemies and converts their passion into a shield that absorbs pyro damage. Damage absorbed will be based on the amount of fans affected. So, but how do you get their passion? I don't understand how you do that. How does it convert their passion? If you kill them? I'm not sure. Okay, so 0 or 1 enemy hit, level 1 shield, 2 enemies hit, or 2 fans, I should say, level 2 shield, 3 enemies hit, level 3 shield. On top of absorbing damage, you will periodically deal pyro damage to all nearby enemies. This is a really, really cool, unique skill right here for Xinyan, and that's why I was leaning a little more towards Xinyan, because she has like this nice little shtick going for her, like I mentioned, being like a rock star, and they integrating that into her skills. Very fun, man. That's very cool. I like that. Alright, and then the shield attributes. When shield is active, Xinyan will be imbued with pyro energy. Okay, so infused, imbued, however you want to call it, with pyro energy. Nice. And then 250% absorption strength against pyro damage. So she's going to be tanking pyro enemies really well. And then the elemental burst deals physical damage and knocks back all nearby enemies. Then periodically deals pyro damage to all surrounding enemies. Nice, that's a good elemental burst right there. And then the phase 1 ascension, the level 2 shield will now only require 1 enemy hit, while level 3 shield only requiring 2. So everything pretty much just gets knocked down a tick. That's very nice, really good. And then the ascension phase 4, while the shield from her skill is active character will deal 15% more physical damage. Really nice. It allows her to hit harder and still tank. That's good stuff. And then the utility passive is for cooking, defensive buffs. Okay, nice. So I like Xinyan. I do. I think she's very fun. She has a cool looking kit. You know, I think she's gonna be tanky but able to do damage as well. She's gonna be fun to build a nice, you know, like type of gear set around and see how well she does. But anyways, guys, that is the information pertaining to these characters. Once again, this, you know, video was all about just deep diving into their skills and see what they're going to be doing for you, so you get a better idea of these characters and whether or not they're worth the pull for. So like I mentioned, the title of the video, are they good? Yeah, they're all good, and they're going to be good. It's more, you know, what do they do for you in a sense. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, once again, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, especially if you like the content, especially if you like Genshin Impact. Remember to join the Discord, so that way you can go ahead and meet up for co-ops and, you know, be excited for version 1.1 together like I am. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys, until next time, it's your homie Cody GT, and I'm out. Bye, guys.